Hi students, so this is for CCR 094. Of course, if you're in English 121 and you would like to watch this video, you're welcome to. But this is active reading strategies, okay? So, for many students, they struggle with understanding the things that they read. So I hear a lot from students that I read the same sentence over and over again, and I don't remember what it said, or I find that I've read a page and I don't remember any of it. Part of the problem is that in modern times we're inundated with so much information that we're so used to skimming and scanning and multitasking that we're not paying attention as well as we should be. So number one, we have to commit to being focused on what it is that we're doing. So my suggestion to you on the front end when you're reading, specifically when you're reading for your classes, is to find a nice quiet place to read where you're not going to be distracted. Some people say they like to listen to music when they read. The problem is with music, even if it's music that you love, is that you start rocking out and jamming to the beat, and again it's a distraction. Your mind is split between, hey, I really like this song, and if you were in the car you might be singing along to it. You might even be singing along to it while you're trying to read something, and you're not, again, you pulls your attention away from what you're trying to focus on. So if you're going to listen to something, I suggest they have what they call brain entrainment study smart music on YouTube, and they also have white noise apps, same thing on Apple and Android. And those, and specifically this is brain entrainment, they have a hum in the background, and that hum activates certain waves in the brain, the alpha and theta waves, that help you focus and help you remember. And for me, it helped me significantly in grad school, and I recommend it to you. So for this assignment, Clive Thompson's On the New Literacy, you're going to do a couple of pre-reading, and you're going to do some reading strategies with it so you can remember and retain more. So when you click on this, it opens up. If you have a printer and can print it out, that would be ideal. You can also open this up in Microsoft Word. And the first thing I want you to do is think about the words on the new literacy. This was written in 2003. So first thing you have to decide for yourself is, what does literacy mean? If we were in class, we would talk about this, and what most students come up with is it has to do with reading, but it also has to do with writing. Can you both read and write? So what are new literacies, new ways of reading and new ways of writing? This having been written in 2003, this was the rise of blogging, and Clive Thompson is a blogger. He's very interested in the intersections between technology and culture. That's what he likes to evaluate. So if we think about the impact of blogging and what people thought about it, and social media, because social media and Facebook was really starting to boom during that time as well, what kind of impact have those things had on reading and writing in your mind? So in class we would talk about that. Some people say it's had a negative impact. Some people say it's had a positive impact. Negative because people don't pay attention to punctuation or grammar. They put out whatever they want, just kind of throw it out there. And then positive in that people are trying to craft answers and be articulate, and they're writing and reading now more than ever, because we're so inundated with information that we're constantly in the midst of it, and so we're reading and writing all the time, and so in a way it's made people better. And that's part of what Thompson sort of evaluates here, and you have to figure out, what is his argument? Is he arguing that new literacy makes students better readers and writers, or it makes them worse readers and writers? So the next step I want you to do so now we've predicted, based on the title, what we think this article will be about. You're going to scan the article, and you're going to look for words that you don't know. So for example, maybe you don't know what the word pundits means, or fretting. So you would look those words up. And I would circle them and I would write in the margins what those words meant, just so I knew and I could come back to it. I would also suggest creating like a vocabulary notebook. It's really beneficial to have for all of your classes, because you're going to encounter so many new words in all your classes. It's great to have a reference, so you're not looking at the same words up over and over again. You kind of have your own reference dictionary. So you keep going and look for words that you don't know, maybe narcissistic, rhetoric. A lot of people skip over this word. But what is rhetoric? Look that up. And just look for words that you don't know. Okay? After you've looked for those words and you've defined those words, then you can go back and you can read the article. Because now that you have an understanding of what all these different words mean, you can begin to you can have a full appreciation of Thompson's meaning. My mom always said to me that if you skipped over a word you didn't know in a book, then you ceased to understand what it was that you were reading, even if it was just one word. And I always thought that was really interesting, and I appreciated that because I think it helped me to develop a better vocabulary and to be more diligent about that. So I want to encourage you to do the same, especially at the college level, because these conversations get more dense the higher up in education that you go. They get more sophisticated, and the wording gets more tiresome. I don't know, but you'll encounter a lot of difficult words, and the more that you understand it and can pull those words apart and tease those meanings out, the better it is for you. So then you'll read through here, and I would make notes. So usually in the introductory paragraph of anything, we should wind up with a thesis statement. And a thesis statement is one sentence that tells us what this article or essay will be about. So based on this introduction, what do you think Thompson is going to argue? That's what I want you to try to answer. What is he trying to argue? Okay? And then, as you go through, what evidence does he use to support his points? And he does have evidence. Okay. This is Thompson's article and not Andrea Lunsford. Lunsford is in here, and sometimes people make it about her and not about him. This is Thompson's article. And then really look at the evidence that he offers. What evidence does he offer to back up his claims? That's important. And those are your goals for this. And just write notes, highlight, underline things that you think are important. That's what you would do. That's what annotation is for any article. So when you read academic articles, the next paper that we do actually after the summary is the big paper for this class. It's called the synthesis argument. And you are going to read academic papers with a lot of really dense arguments. And so for me, anytime I would read those articles, I would think everything's important the first time around. So maybe read through them the first time and then read it through a second time and underline those things that you think are important. Because I understand how you can feel like everything feels important the first time. But that's where the meaning is starting to sink in. So the second time around is where you can really zero in on what he's actually arguing and get rid of all the fluff. Okay? And when you're done, you're going to send your highlights and your notes and everything to me. Either you can print this out and just make notes handwritten and take a picture with your phone and text it to me. That's fine. You can again download this in PDF, or you can download it in Microsoft Word, and you can do it in those programs. There's ways to highlight and make notes in those programs if you know how to do that. Either way is fine with me. And that is for 50 points. Thank you for your time.